Phoenix.
When Ron Anderson is playing a forward spot and Charles Barkley, the power forward, they can throw 4 at you very quickly. Dawkins takes it to the middle. Here you're going to see Barkley, the power forward, making a strong move, and Anderson, the quick forward, in the lane. They'll throw 4 at you very fast. The Bulls had trouble getting back to protect against the fast breaks of Philadelphia in Game 3.
Sixers with a 4-point first quarter lead, 3:14 remaining. You see the numbers that Charles Barkley put up in Game 3 on Friday night. Barkley improving at the free throw line, 2 of 5 now. He's got 6 points. Michael Jordan has taken 8 of the Bulls' 17 shots. He's only made 5. Horace Grant working hard to free himself. Defended by Ron Anderson right on top of him. Tough shot by Horace Grant.
Well, the Sixers have a speed advantage, but the Bulls have a size advantage at the forward spot right now, and they went right to it.
B.J. Armstrong defending Johnny Dawkins. Anderson pushed out high by Neely. Should be a quickness advantage here for Anderson. Dawkins penetrating and scores. So Johnny Dawkins, when the opportunity presents itself, taking advantage of it.
You don't always have to take the outside shot against the doubling defense. On the rotation, you can penetrate just like Dawkins did.
2 veterans going at each other, Cartwright and Mahorn. Great hustle by Horace Grant, who throws it away. Was being upended by Ron Anderson. But Grant showing real good aggressiveness on the boards, Tommy.
They're trying to get Grant more involved in the offense, too. He's not one of their prime options and hasn't been, but maybe will be today.
Well, someone's going to have to step to the floor with Scottie Pippen out his 20 points at home. Rick Mahorn can't get the roll. Jordan with the rebound. Nice pass to Ed Neely. So the big fella, Ed Neely, lumbering down court, open for the shot.
Boy, and he took Barkley right off the boards, and Barkley got knocked off his feet. That's why he was wide open for the layup up the other end.
Chicago determined to keep the game close, Tommy, so that they can keep it close. They know they are very confident down the stretch against the 76ers. Anderson. Loose ball foul as Charles Barkley gets the rebound, but pushes first. Barkley picks up his first personal foul.
Watch the fight for position. Michael Jordan ends up with Barkley, trying to keep him away from the boards, a man-sized job. And Jordan gave the direction the foul should go. It's ours.
14 fouls on Philadelphia. 1:20 remaining in the first quarter. Dawkins with the steal. A 1-on-2, and Will Perdue picks up the foul.
Great weak side defense that time by Johnny Dawkins. On the swing of the ball, he was already out in the passing lane, and Will Perdue should not have thrown that pass.
Will Perdue, number 32, into the lineup for Chicago, second-year player out of Vanderbilt. This is Johnny Dawkins. Dawkins was very upset with himself Friday night when Chicago applied that full court pressure in the second half. Dawkins felt he should have handled the press a lot better.
Well, I don't think Philadelphia in the fourth quarter really attacked the basket. The best way to beat a press defense is get layups. That means go for the hoop. Wow, it's like a bowling match.
Mahorn took down 2 players, but Perdue gets up and comes away with the rebound. Jordan for 3. Barkley with the rebound. Number 4. And Chicago does a good job of getting back. 2 superstars on each other. Mahorn. Going to check the backboard after that shot.
That was a brick.
Cinder block. 41 seconds remaining. Chicago trailing by 6. Grant has the position on Anderson. And the shot. So Horace Grant getting off quickly. Has dropped in 4 points. Very aggressive on the boards. And Chicago trailing by just 4.
Chicago really likes to use the best matchup advantage. Usually it's Jordan, but last couple of trips up, it's been Grant.
Charles Barkley asking for a little help from the officials as Ed Neely is bodying him up every opportunity. Bad pass by Dawkins, stolen by Chicago. Under 10 in the first quarter. Perdue on a nice pass from Michael Jordan. So Michael although not accurate from the field, certainly playing playmaker. Hawkins fouled by Will Perdue. So Hersey Hawkins challenging the 7-foot Will Perdue, and Perdue picks up his second personal foul.
Phil Jackson is rotating his people. Will Perdue was up the other end and almost had a tip-in on that fast break, and yet gets back to create problems for Hersey Hawkins. That's not an easy run for Will Perdue.
Hersey Hawkins with 3 points in the first quarter, had 27 on Friday night, 19 in the first half.
Hersey Hawkins has come into this year's playoffs with a world more of confidence than he had last year. He talked himself out of a good series against New York, in my opinion. Right now, he feels he can make anything.
Jordan pushes off, but can't find the range, and that's the end of the first period of play here in Philadelphia with the score. The 76ers lead it 30-26. We'll be back with second quarter action after this.
If it makes you nervous to have someone my size in your face, now you know how your kid feels when you're in his.
CBS Sports coverage of the 1990 NBA playoffs is sponsored by The Good Time, Great Taste of McDonald's. Delta Airlines, we love to fly, and it shows. And by Jeep and Eagle, official vehicles of the NBA.
A well-played first quarter here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. Sixers nursing only a 4-point lead over Chicago, 30-26. And Tommy, a big difference from Friday night when the Sixers just exploded in the first quarter, got the lead up to double digits, high double digits at that. Chicago, good job.
You'd have to say that this is just the type of quarter that they wanted to play. They took the emotion away from Philadelphia. They played an up-tempo game. Jordan got out in the open court, and they were able to use some good inside mismatches, establishing those with Grant. So you'd have to say right now, Phil Jackson has to be a happy guy.
And as you look at how action in the first quarter sets up things for the fourth quarter, Chicago has a deeper bench. Philadelphia generally only goes 6 and maybe 7 deep because, of course, Derek Smith is out injured.
The first guys that really break down in an up-tempo game are the big guys. So look at Mahorn, look at Mike Jaminski, and Jimmy Lynam is going to have to really be watching those guys as this tempo progresses.
Scott Brooks into the lineup for the 76ers, along with Craig Hodges for the Chicago Bulls. This is B.J. Armstrong. Barkley, aggressive rebound. Number 5.
Oh, what a great defensive job by Will Perdue just to get down here and take that angle of attack away from Barkley.
Mahorn with Neely defending, and he walked. So Mahorn trying to get a little too fancy on the pivot move, gets called for traveling.
Boy, and Neely had some space between him and Mahorn, and he was playing him to the middle. Good defense that time by Neely.
B.J. Armstrong, Horace Grant, Ed Neely, Will Perdue, and Craig Hodges, the 5 on the floor for Chicago. Shot by Perdue is short. Chicago doing a good job of getting back on D.
They sure are, and I'll tell you, Perdue is number 1 in that department.
Anderson with Grant defending. To Mahorn. Blocked and fouled.
Well, getting that ball through on the baseline has to be a miracle because there were all kind of red jerseys right there, but they did. And the Bulls produced their own version of the no layup rule. They just banged Mahorn.
Ed Neely picked up his first personal foul. Rick Mahorn, a 71% free throw shooter.
They looked to Mahorn as the guy that really turned his team around. They were surprised that he was as good defensively as he really turned out to be. He's become their defensive quarterback.
And Philadelphia Philadelphia is 7 of 11 at the free throw line, while Chicago has yet to take a trip to the charity stripe. Anderson with the steal. Nice pass. Hawkins has it stripped by Hodges. Greg Hodges missed about 15 games down the stretch of the season because of a sprained back, and he throws this one away as Anderson, with an alert defensive play, comes up with the steal. Scott Brooks, a second-year player out of Cal Irvine, small but tough and can nail the three-point shot.
Jimmy Lanham describes him as disruptive. That's what he is, the disruptor.
And a nice shot by Hersey Hawkins.
That's a matchup the Sixers have been using against Craig Hodges, letting Hawkins go to the hoop against Hodges.
Biggest lead of the game for the 76ers, 34-26. 9:50 remaining in the half. Purdue off the mark. Neely with the rebound, back to Purdue. And Will Purdue got a lot of playing time when Bill Cartwright was out for 11 games. He and Stacey King both giving him a little bit more confidence.
He's one of those projects that have landed before their time.
Matter of fact, Chicago was 9-2 when Cartwright was out for those 11 games injured. Anderson.
He's a two-position player, going to be very important in this series before it's over.
Purdue spins by Mahorn and scores the continuation basket.
Will Purdue is really a very decent low post player. Has got some moves and has got usually a good shooting touch down there.
A break in the action. Chicago trailing by 6.
Recently, Four Wheel and Off-Road magazine tested the latest imports and domestics to determine this year's 4x4 of the year. The winner was then tested against past 4x4 of the year winners to determine the best of the best. They compared power, performance, and handling. And when it was over, Jeep Cherokee stood on familiar ground.
Get $1,000 cash back or 0% financing on Jeep Cherokee.
Describe McDonald's in 3 little words.
3 little words. Big Mac, fries, Coke.
Clean, clean, clean.
Butch, Gerald, David. See, I met them all right here.
Toy, Happy Meals.
Fresh, deaf, cooking. Extraordinary, innovative, convenient. Filet-O-Fish.
You know the one, McDonald's.
Food, folks, fun.
Yum, yum, yum.
This is it. The Tour de Light, the race to win America's favorite light beer, has reached New York.
Excuse me, fellas. I'm looking for New York. Big place, tall buildings. Subway.
This is when many cyclists say they hit the wall, but they push on. Why? Because it's there, at the finish line, a lifetime supply of Miller Lite. And now, it is anybody's race.
All right, looking good.
Welcome back to the Spectrum. The 76ers lead by 6 here in the second period. On Thursday, Sixers general manager John Nash resigned. So far, Sixers owner Harold Katz has yet to accept that resignation. He spoke to the media on Friday and was quite irritated.
I mean, you guys put your money up. I'd like to see you guys go out and put your money up and then sit back and not make a decision. That's bullshit. It's flat out bullshit. And I've taken 9 years of your bullshit, and I'm tired of it.
Harold, we just heard you talking to the media. John Nash wants to leave. You don't want him to. What's going on here?
Well, I think that John has not thought this out. I think in the last 2 weeks, he's reconsidered. We're going to sit down and talk after the playoffs, and hopefully John will stay. I want John back. He's done a fantastic job for us. I think John got burned out, and he came to me 3 weeks ago, told me about it. I said, John, reconsider it, think about it, and then the media leaked it. During that period of time, I think John has reconsidered. We will sit down afterwards.
We will follow the saga. Thank you, Harold Katz.
All right, Jim, and indeed the saga will continue. Harold Katz expressing his frustration because the media had indicated that Harold was a little too involved with the franchise, not letting John Nash make decisions, and you heard his response. Will Purdue, the first free throw for Chicago in the game.
And there's the press defense that was so effective in the fourth quarter. Let's see if the Sixers are prepared to defeat it.